Hey friends, welcome back to The Practical Alchemist. I'm Meg, your host. And woo, I'm not sure if I'm gonna post this video because we feeling rough right now. Anybody had a sleepover or a sleep hangover? My brain is like pudding right now. I have, as you know, been going through a spiritual awakening, but not in the momentary way that some people do, where it's just like a lightning bolt and then something changes overnight. It's been pretty iterative for me, but exponentially so in the last couple of weeks, to the point where I'm just having really big realizations and downloads of information and enlightening moments repeatedly over the last few weeks. And so the last couple days, I have been having like 3 or 4 hour long naps a day because my nervous system finally feels safe to rest, and I'm finding myself exhausted. But a challenge I'm having right now also is to be in the flow more. So I am going with the flow and sleeping most of the day. It's a good thing I am unemployed. Anyway, that's not what I came here to tell you. I've been wanting to do a little short video for a while on this, and I'm going to keep it short because there's a lot of complexities that I would like to include in many of these videos, but I also feel challenged by my higher self to be okay with imperfection and be okay with presenting myself with no makeup, no cute clothes, no notes. So we'll see if we post this, but something that I've toyed with quite a lot is this idea of prescriptive awakening. And what I mean by that is we've all encountered paradigms wherein a specific organized religion, or more than one or many, or a specific approach to enlightenment essentially prescribes a checklist of this is how you get past your baggage and get past your challenges and become enlightened. And for some people that looks like, I don't know, a meditation retreat in Tibet. And for some people, join a monastery. For some people, it's, a specific religious sect. For others, it's a series of, microdosing or ayahuasca trips, or a series of, Reiki and light and sound healing sessions. And some of us have thrown many of those different things against the wall to see what sticks. And something that I have repeatedly found is a frustration related to when certain leaders specifically have a message that resonates with me, but then they contradict one another. As an example, I really love and appreciate the work of Eckhart Tolle, and I also really appreciate the work of Dolores Cannon. They both bring different things to the spiritual community. Eckhart Tolle has built his life's work on teaching people to be in the moment, in the present moment. And his approach to manifestation is basically enjoy the feeling of imagining the thing you want right now and let it go, and don't think too hard about how you're going to get it or when and where. Just enjoy the thought. And Dolores Cannon's approach to manifestation was very different. She's no longer living, but in her works, the approach is, and she's been even recorded saying this, she's like, be very specific. When you're manifesting, you got to say, I want, not just I want a car. I want a red car with 4 wheels that works, and I want it to come next Tuesday, blah, blah, blah. And so for me, it's an intellectual exercise of how do I resolve all these people whose work resonates with me in terms of enlightenment. And this isn't just about manifestation. It can be about any type of desire to elevate yourself, I think, to the next level. And what I keep coming back to is we're all on very individual trajectories, and we're all experiencing very different experiences. So I think it's a mistake to invest myself in one path towards enlightenment as the path for everyone. And apologies if anyone's offended, if you feel really strongly about your specific practice or your specific religion. I would never want to take that away from you. This is just my perspective. But if you can Google, what is the mathematical probability that I would exist? I taking your perspective or I taking my perspective. Me being Meg in 2025, and I had the career I had, and I had the parents I had, and I was born in the state I was born in, blah, blah, blah. Like, what are the odds that that very individual experience each of us happens? And the math it's astronomical. It's like 10 to the 7, insert 7-digit power. It's insanely unlikely that your individual experience gets experienced. And so to me, that highlights a distinct privilege that each of us has in experiencing something very different from one another. And even though we find people throughout our whole lives that have things in common, and that's what brings us together, and we're all interconnected as, small pieces of the greater being that is source energy, in my opinion. Even though we have those connections, no one has ever lived your experience. No one will ever again live your specific experience. And I don't think that's an accident. By the way, think about the word experience. We're all experimenting, and those two words have they have the same root word in common, which means to test or to try. And I profoundly, deeply believe that source energy is childlike, and it's just playing through us. And I don't mean to diminish anyone's suffering. I think there's a purpose for suffering, and I think that purpose is to show us contrast so that we can understand the opposing feeling. We can't feel the high vibe things like bliss and joy and awe without feeling the opposing things and having some experience of them. And so I think, it's important to give yourself permission if you're struggling to find a way to enlighten. Give yourself permission to experiment, maybe. So experimentation is nothing but the experience of trying different things. And, I think I heard it said the other day that many religions and practices contain grains of truth, but not a single one of them contains all the truth. And I think there's a reason for that. If you're having an extremely unique experience as a being on this earth, then there also has to be an extremely unique path to your enlightenment. And you are the only one that can figure out what that path is. And I think you find it by experimentation. And I already can hear somebody out there is being like, but Meg, you're being hypocritical by saying that the answer for everyone's enlightenment is to experiment. Didn't you just say that spirituality shouldn't be so prescriptive? This is just an encouragement to try something. Some of the most profoundly awesome experiences I've had in my life have been as a result of a willingness to experiment and try new things. And so this video is not for everybody, I don't think. I think it's going to be helpful and resonate with some people, and for others, they're going to be like, nope, I got my thing, and you can go pound sand, and I'm okay with that. I love you anyway. So I hope this was helpful. I hope that nothing was profoundly confusing. And if you have questions or want to dig in it anything further, I hope that you'll engage with me in the comments, because I'm hoping that this will at some point become a bit of an exchange of ideas among like-minded people. So take care. Happy Wednesday. I'll see you soon.